The atmosphere at BTS's Baltimore concert suddenly became electric when Jimin appeared to make a playful and unexpected request to Jungkook in front of thousands of ARMY. During the performance, the two members shared a close interaction that immediately drew attention from the audience, with Jimin seemingly asking Jungkook for a kiss. Jimin's bold gesture quickly became one of the most talked about moments of the night. As the crowd realized what was happening, thousands of fans erupted into loud cheers and screams, turning the already energetic stadium into an even more chaotic and exciting scene. All eyes then shifted toward Jungkook, who appeared visibly surprised by Jimin's request. Rather than immediately responding, Jungkook seemed to take a moment to process the unexpected situation, making the reaction even more captivating for everyone watching. Jimin, however, appeared unfazed by the enormous reaction around them. His playful expression and confident approach only encouraged the crowd to cheer louder, creating a memorable interaction between the two members on the Baltimore stage. The moment became even more dramatic as Jungkook stood face to face with Jimin, while the audience waited to see what he would do next. For several seconds, the stadium seemed completely focused on the two members, with fans eagerly anticipating Jungkook's response. Whether the interaction was simply playful fan service or an unscripted moment between close friends, it quickly became a highlight for many. ARMY, the combination of Jimin's unexpected request and Jungkook's surprised reaction, created a moment that fans were unlikely to forget. By the end of the interaction, the crowd's reaction had already made the moment feel much bigger than a simple stage exchange. Jimin's bold move and Jungkook's reaction became one of those unforgettable Baltimore concert moments that left thousands of ARMY talking long after the performance ended. The moment Jimin appeared to make the unexpected request, Jungkook seemed to freeze for a few seconds. His reaction was noticeably different from the playful energy surrounding them, as if he needed a moment to process what had just happened. That brief pause immediately caught the attention of the thousands of ARMY watching from the stadium. For those few seconds, Jungkook appeared unsure of how to respond. He seemed to look toward Jimin while the crowd continued screaming around them, creating an intense contrast between the deafening reaction of the audience and Jungkook's seemingly stunned expression. Jimin, meanwhile, appeared to remain close and waited for Jungkook's reaction. That made the situation even more suspenseful. Fans could only watch as Jungkook stood there, seemingly caught between surprise and amusement, without immediately giving a clear answer. The longer Jungkook paused, the louder the anticipation seemed to become. ARMY appeared to realize that something unexpected was happening, and the atmosphere quickly shifted into a "what happens next" moment. Would Jungkook finally give in to Jimin's request, or would he turn the situation into another playful exchange? For a few unforgettable seconds, it felt as though the entire stadium was waiting for Jungkook to make his move. His brief freeze became almost as dramatic as Jimin's bold request itself, leaving fans wondering what was going through his mind and, most importantly, whether Jungkook was actually going to give Jimin the answer everyone was waiting for. As the unexpected interaction unfolded, the stadium cameras appeared to shift their focus toward Jimin and Jungkook. Their faces suddenly became the center of attention, allowing thousands of ARMY in the venue to follow every expression and reaction on the giant screens. The timing made the moment feel even more dramatic. With the camera capturing the two members up close, Jimin's playful expression and Jungkook's seemingly surprised reaction became much easier for the audience to notice. What might have been a brief exchange suddenly felt like a major moment happening right in front of everyone. The giant screens amplified the tension as fans watched. Jungkook appeared to pause while Jimin remained nearby. Instead of relying on fans sitting close to the stage to see what was happening, the entire stadium could now witness the interaction almost simultaneously. As soon as their expressions appeared on the screens, the crowd reaction seemed to grow even louder. Thousands of ARMY began cheering and screaming, creating an atmosphere where it felt as though the entire stadium was waiting for Jungkook's next move. For those few seconds, the camera did more than simply capture the performance. It turned a small interaction into a stadium-wide spectacle, With Jimin and Jungkook's expressions displayed for everyone to see, fans were left watching closely, wondering what Jungkook would do next. The atmosphere inside the Baltimore stadium seemed to change instantly as Jimin moved closer to Jungkook. What had started as a playful interaction quickly attracted the attention of the crowd, and the cheers from ARMY appeared to grow louder with every passing second. As Jimin seemingly made his gesture toward Jungkook, the audience erupted into an even louder reaction. Screams echoed throughout the stadium, with fans reacting enthusiastically to the unexpected interaction unfolding on stage. The giant screens showing the two members only seemed to intensify the excitement. Every expression and movement became easier for thousands of ARMY to see, prompting another wave of cheers whenever Jimin appeared to get closer to Jungkook. For a moment, the concert felt less like a regular performance and more like a stadium-wide reaction to a single interaction. The deafening screams made it seem as though tens of thousands of fans were collectively waiting for Jungkook's next move. What happened next only fueled the anticipation, with Jimin seemingly waiting for Jungkook's response, and the crowd continuing to roar around them. The tension became almost impossible to ignore. ARMY were left wondering whether Jungkook would finally respond to Jimin's bold gesture or surprise everyone with an entirely different reaction. Jimin appeared not to immediately step away after making the gesture toward Jungkook. Instead, he seemed to remain close for a few more moments, creating an unexpected pause between the two members. With thousands of ARMY watching, that brief distance, or lack of it, quickly became the center of attention. Jungkook's reaction appeared to make the moment even more intriguing. While he seemed to be processing what was happening, Jimin remained nearby, seemingly waiting to see what Jungkook would do next. The contrast between Jimin's confident presence and Jungkook's surprised reaction created a dramatic sense of anticipation. The crowd seemed to notice that Jimin was not immediately moving away. Cheers and screams continued to echo through the stadium as fans watched the giant screens, carefully following every expression and movement. For a few seconds, it felt as though the entire audience was waiting for Jungkook to make the next move. That pause became the question of the moment. Would Jungkook actually respond to Jimin's apparent request? Or would he turn the situation into another playful exchange? Neither possibility seemed certain, which made the interaction even more captivating for the audience. As Jimin continued to stay close, the anticipation only grew stronger. The moment remained suspended between a playful gesture and an unexpected response, leaving ARMY wondering what would happen next. For those watching inside the Baltimore stadium, those few seconds were enough to turn a simple stage interaction into one of the most talked about moments of the night. Jungkook's expression quickly became the center of attention as the unexpected interaction with Jimin unfolded. At first, he appeared genuinely surprised, as though he had not expected the moment to develop in that direction. His brief pause was immediately noticed by fans watching both the stage and the giant screens. Moments later, Jungkook seemed to break into a smile. The change from his initial surprised expression to a visible grin added another layer to the interaction. While the crowd continued reacting loudly around them, fans closely followed every subtle movement of his face, trying to understand how he might respond. As the moment continued, Jungkook appeared increasingly playful and slightly shy. At certain points, he seemed to laugh or smile as he stood near Jimin, creating an atmosphere that felt lighter. Despite the growing anticipation from the audience, fans naturally began interpreting every expression and reaction. Some may have viewed his smile as embarrassment, while others could have seen it simply as Jungkook reacting playfully to Jimin's unexpected gesture. Without knowing what he was actually thinking, his changing expressions left plenty of room for interpretation. What made the moment especially captivating was how quickly Jungkook's expression seemed to change from surprise to a smile, and then what appeared to be a shy or amused reaction. With the cameras capturing the interaction for the stadium screens, thousands of ARMY had the opportunity to watch those expressions unfold, making Jungkook's reaction one of the biggest points of attention during the moment.